So here we have Pay.Party. Right now I'm on the staging version, dev.pay.party, and there's some updates that we made in the last week or so. Primarily, this is like the home. I consider this sort of like the home page, like your starting page, like join the party or create a party. I can go ahead and create a party. I'll just call it Dogfooding, April 8th. So down here you can see parties that I've created before, and now currently we have sort of like better viewing. Like you can also click this button to view the party that you're in. Here, once I click this party, I can see like this party that I've previously created. I'll go ahead and press back to get to back to this page. So yeah, just a little bit of a UI update there. And of course, let me create, dog food, April 8th. I'll go ahead and create this party. And by the way, if y'all can drop your .eth addresses or any wallet address in the Jitsi chat, I'll go ahead and populate the voters and candidates. But until then, let me talk a little bit about this page as well. So this is your primary create party page, where of course you just type in your name, description, voters, and candidates. And here we have tooltips where you can sort of see like, hey, voters are the addresses that can cast the votes, and candidates are the people or entities that are able to be voted on, as well as being the recipients of the distributed funds. So let me go ahead and make a description. This is dog food. And then I'll go ahead and write my .eth address. And I'm thankful that I get to dog food these because it's a little hard to find multiple people to, dog food a single pay party with. Primarily, I just usually just do it by myself. But of course, I'm open to the community to joining in everything I do. So let's go ahead and do this slightly painful process of copying from Jitsi over to Pay.Party. I can simple attack it. Okay, sure. Honestly, you know what? I'll just like write out the voters first, and then I'll copy and paste it. Simple attacker.eth. Okay. I see you, Emu. Make sure I spelled that right. Danny, forgot you. Psych, did not forget you. And let me just go ahead and copy and paste all these. Code. Sweet. Okay, cool. So now we have count 7. These are all the addresses that I want to add. Sorry if you've added more Jitsi more of your .eth addresses in the Jitsi. I'll just save that for next time. And I'll go ahead and create this party. Okay, cool. So here we have this review page where you can see the name, description. I think someone's coming in. Sorry, Manuel, I had to mute you. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is a review page with the name, description, voters, and candidates, and you can see everything in a vertical fashion just to make sure that we didn't miss anything. So I'm guessing that I didn't miss anything, so I'll go ahead and confirm. You'll see something a little bit new where we have this new signature request. It has the version, name, description, and participants, as well as the candidates. And we'll go ahead and sign this message. And boom, we created our party. Let me drop the link of this party into the Jitsi chat so that everyone can interact. As you might know, if you've followed up with the previous dogfooding sessions or have just been involved in the Pay.Party process, that you can now update your note. So here I'll just have like, this is Samir. Because one reason why we included this was because we realized like not everyone has a .eth address, and it's pretty hard to track a name or an identity to just like a random wallet address. And so we implemented this note feature here So let me, yeah, this is very interesting to see. Okay. And then the numbers just go crazy. Okay, good to know. Good to know. And this is why we dog food, everyone. This is why we dog food. I'll give myself 2, and I'll add 3 to Brent's. Ignore this part for now. Let me go ahead and submit my vote. 28000. Okay, so there are some errors coming up, and this is like another good reason why we have this sort of signature request here, so you can double check, like, hey, are the votes really being allocated to the right people, and are there any like mistakes going on? As you can see, there are some mistakes going on, so let me just cancel that. I'll go ahead and refresh this page, and I'll just go ahead and start over. I'll give myself 1 vote. I'll give everyone else 5. I'll give 14. 10. Okay, cool. And then I'll go submit my vote. I have 1, 5, 5, 5, 14. Okay, cool. And then I'll scroll all the way down and then go ahead and sign it. And we get confetti. So we can see that 2 out of the 7 people have voted. If I refresh, let me see if that changes. Okay, cool. I think only 2 out of the 7 people have voted. One important thing to note is that if the party was created on Rinkeby, then you will have to vote on Rinkeby. And the same goes for any other network. So whatever network you create your party on, all of your voters are going to have to also vote on that same network. But distribution is a little bit different. You can distribute on any network that you choose. Right now, I'll distribute on Rinkeby, but just to show sort of like, hey, like you can only vote on Rinkeby. If you go to a different network, you'll see this, oh, you must switch networks to vote, and you won't be able to access any of the voting parameters here. That's just so like we make sure that the users are really using Pay.Party as intended and that there's no errors or friction in between. Let me go back to Rinkeby and switch. Okay. Cool. And another good thing about Pay.Party is that you can either wait for everyone to vote, or if you're happy with the distribution and how things turned out, and maybe there's someone lagging, but you know everyone has like there's quorum and people are okay with voting according to that distribution, you can go ahead and distribute just immediately. And it doesn't have to be the wallet that created the party. It can be any wallet can distribute to this party, and any wallet can distribute multiple times to this party. So I'll go ahead and choose linear strategy. I think, oh, it's very kind of you all. I'll go ahead and do quadratic actually, so we can spread out the love a little bit. And let's see how much Rinkeby I have. Oh, I'm a rich man. Okay, let me go distribute 0.1 actually. And here you can see the payout column tab on the right-hand side. It's only listed to 2 decimal points, and it rounds depending on what the distribution is. That's why you see like, okay, it's not 0.03167, but it just rounds down to 0.03. We do have plans to sort of increase the number of decimals, just so that, because we know how granular sometimes payments are, especially when it comes to like Bitcoin or maybe ETH. We only support ETH and L2s and sidechains for now. Primarily, we support mainnet and we support Matic, and more functionalities coming in that regard as well. So let's go ahead and distribute 0.1, and the default is Ethereum, so I don't have to like put in anything here. I'll go ahead and distribute according to this distribution strategy, quadratic, and I'll go ahead and confirm. And down here, like Alex mentioned, we can twiddle our thumbs until the transaction completes. So thumb twiddling going on. And I believe we have the transaction, yeah. So I'll go ahead and take a look on the Block Explorer through like my MetaMask just to see if the transaction completed. And as we can tell, it did. I'll go refresh this really quickly. And once you refresh it, you can see down here in this payout history that there's an amount as well as a transaction where you can go ahead and click it and it'll pull up this sort of transaction view. where you can see specifically, hey, this is how much Ether was distributed from the contract to one of the addresses. And this is my address, by the way. So, and we can take a look here saying like, hey, I had 31.67% of the distribution of the votes allocated to me, and an equivalent has been distributed here. So that's pretty much Pay.Party. Does anyone have any questions currently? I can go ahead and answer some.
Anyone curious about how I got on there twice?
Yes, this is currently live. What I showed you was the staging version, the dev.pay.party. There's another version that's a little bit less updated at app.pay.party, and there are still one or two issues that we're hoping to resolve on that as well, and we'll probably have that by the end of next week. So yeah, so Pay.Party is currently live. Right. So primarily, some of the feature changes that I didn't mention were a little bit more backend related. Primarily, there was like a small bug as related to securing an election room in terms of signatures. What we realized was like it was the same signature being used to secure every Pay.Party room, and so that was like one of the biggest changes that we made in terms of functionality. And so now it's like now it works properly. You might have seen like that signature change. When you create a Pay.Party, I can share my room again or share my screen again. Yeah, let me go ahead and make a new one, and this one will be just a lot faster. So here, so we created this like sort of new request for signatures, just so like we can make it a little bit more secure and sign it with a proper signature. And you can see here that this is a signature here. And if I make a new Pay.Party room, I should probably let's open this one back up so we can compare. That like now the signatures are different, and this is really important for Pay.Party in order to secure a room. So yeah. So that was like one change, and then another change was more visual. We can go back, sort of in this view here, where you can like click view and it'll bring up the Pay.Party. So the changes were really like small in terms of visual changes, but there have been other updates happening in the back end to make things a little bit more efficient and a lot more secure. How many live Pay.Parties have taken place so far with this tool? I would say so Moonshot Collective, currently we do Pay.Parties for all of our products. And so excluding Moonshot Collective, we've been sort of rolling it out towards like internal Gitcoin teams. And we know of about maybe 4 to 5 different teams sort of using or planning on using Pay.Party to do their contribution-based pays. And again, Pay.Party is like pretty lightweight. You know, you can like easily start a party, easily invite people, vote, and directly pay out all in like one fell swoop. And there's no need for like big preparation behind anything. It's just like, hey, like I got people I need to pay based off their contribution. Let me spin up a Pay.Party really quickly and be able to track it using like sort of using this My Parties tool down here, and you can sort of see all the parties that I've been a part of. Yeah, excuse all the names. I've been trying to test it here and there. And recently, yesterday, we wiped some of the databases just so like we can get a fresh start, especially as it related to like securing and having secure elections. Cool. That's all I had to share with Pay.Party. More updates are coming soon, and I'm excited to share those in the coming dogfooding sessions. Does anyone have any more questions about Pay.Party? If not, I can talk a little bit more about dogfooding and the changes in the cadence for dogfooding going forward.
I do have like one question. Have you done any like more user interviews with the newer iteration of Pay.Party? Like, do users still find it like? How do users kind of find it like navigating, or do you find you still need
Yeah, definitely. So I think currently users find it pretty intuitive and usable to use. I've talked to, I don't want to like dox their names because I know this is being recorded, but I've talked to like a couple people within Gitcoin, sort of just to like see like, hey, like how they're using it. I know it's been used for like the climate round that Anuj has been part of. Sorry, Anuj, I didn't mean to say your name there, but yeah.
You doxed me finally.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, so it's been used for with some internal Gitcoin team members, especially as it related to GR13. I think also the support team is planning on using something like this, and as well as MMM closer to the end of the month. But I don't want to like hold them to anything. These are just like early talks of what's going on. And of course, like you can really only use Pay.Party if you're willing to pay people with it at the end of the day, and like payments usually happen either on a bi-weekly basis or on a monthly basis. And so yeah, people have been using it, and so far they've been thinking that it's pretty usable and like streamlined enough that they don't have too many issues with it. There are some minor changes that do need to be addressed though.